The Homeowners Association president tried to take my home. I had to decide if I should destroy his career or his family. That sounds overly dramatic, I know, but when you're dealing with a petty tyrant who thinks he's untouchable, you quickly realize you have to prepare for mutually assured destruction. The tyrant in question was Todd, the president of our Homeowners Association. He didn't just target my house, he targeted my peace of mind and my family's savings. When my wife and I bought our first home, we were excited. Then we met the Homeowners Association president, Todd. Todd was a bully powered by a small-town mentality and a three-ring binder full of bylaws. He was a menace to anyone who questioned him. My personal war with Todd began with a single flower pot. We had a small ceramic pot on our porch that was painted turquoise. Todd decided, out of nowhere, that turquoise is not a sanctioned exterior color and sent us a fine for $50 a day. I politely challenged it, citing the section of the bylaws that covered outdoor decorations. He retaliated by sending us 3 more fines for things like improper lawn height and unapproved mailbox font. It was clear he was targeting us. I realized right then that dealing with Todd wasn't about negotiating. It was about destroying his entire power structure. I told my wife, he wants a war of paperwork. Fine, we're going to use his own rules to take everything he cares about. My first step was become the enemy. I volunteered for the HOA board. Todd, being the arrogant man he was, welcomed me with open arms. He saw me as a new, naive admirer he could manipulate. This was his first fatal error, underestimating my quiet rage. For 2 years, I played the part of the eager, clueless newbie. I attended every meeting, and while everyone else argued about porch paint, I kept my mouth shut and my ears open. I wasn't just observing Todd's bullying, I was watching the logistics. I learned that he controlled the board by burying other members in mountains of unnecessary paperwork and using arcane rules to silence dissenting votes. He would push through major votes when only his 2 allies were present, and he had a convenient habit of losing any financial documentation that questioned his decisions. I took obsessive, detailed notes on every single discrepancy. My ultimate goal was simply to outlast his term, but one late night, while digging through a disorganized box of old minutes that he had forgotten to shred, I discovered his second and much more explosive mistake. Todd wasn't just a petty bully, he was a full-blown thief. I found evidence, bank statements, invoices, and receipts that he was paying a fictional landscaping consultant a $500 monthly fee. The company listed on the invoices was just a P.O. box, and the funds were going directly into a secondary bank account tied to Todd's wife's maiden name. It was embezzlement, plain and simple, and it had been going on for 7 years.
The next board meeting was a masterpiece of planning. I didn't say a word about the turquoise flower pot or the lawn height. I waited until the Treasury report item came up. Todd stood up, ready to give his usual vague, dismissive summary. "Everything is fine," he said, tapping a file. "All funds accounted for." I raised my hand. "Actually, Todd, I have a quick question regarding the 2018 budget summary." I pulled out a perfectly organized binder. "Can you clarify the services rendered by Green Thumb Consulting?" He froze. "That's a past issue. It was a vendor for our common area lighting." Odd, because this invoice from 2019, which I found in the unfiled documents archive, explicitly says it was for ongoing financial advisory services and lists a non-commercial P.O. box as the service address. I then presented a document package to the other board members. The real, legitimate financial records, all cross-referenced with bank account transfers. The proof was irrefutable. Todd had stolen over $40,000 from the HOA. The board members, embarrassed and furious, immediately voted to suspend him, file a police report, and initiate a lawsuit to recover the funds. That should have been the end of it, but my revenge wasn't complete. The ensuing civil lawsuit was brutal. Todd fought it, draining his personal savings. I, along with a hired attorney, methodically destroyed his defense. The court finally ruled against him, forcing him to repay the entire stolen amount plus all legal fees. Todd didn't have the money. He had 2 choices, liquidation or foreclosure. The HOA, now led by me and a few reasonable neighbors, put a mandatory lien on his property to recover the funds. Todd was forced to sell his house, the very foundation of his petty kingdom, to pay back the money he stole. A few months later, I watched the removal truck pull away. I walked outside, picked up my turquoise flower pot, and placed it proudly on my front porch. The HOA president who had fined me for the color of my pot was now gone, bankrupted by the rules he thought only applied to everyone else. It was the most satisfying eviction I've ever witnessed.